Hello, I'm Tyler Moses with CamLogic. I'm an application engineer, and today I will be talking about Xcelerator Share and how it can improve your business. Xcelerator Share is a cloud-based collaboration service that requires no installations and no need for downloading any folders or files. As you will see, simply provide your Siemens login credential and experience the Siemens CAD collaboration service. The user interface is very easy to understand, making the learning curve low and easy to implement into your company quickly. And if you have multiple licenses, as you will see, you'll have the option to select which license you are looking for. Now that we are in the home page, we have a bunch of different options, including the navigation bar, along with also taking a tour at the top of our screen if you want to have additional help. But for right now, we're going to go to the left of our screen where it says Projects. And from here, we're going to be creating a project by clicking on the Create Project button. As we get a pop-up for creating a project, we have a project name, which is required. We have a description that we're able to put in. So for right now, we'll just say this is a test project. We have a due date that we can insert. And then lastly, we have a project ID that we can add. So as we click the Create button, we will notice that it is going to automatically generate the project and open it for us. So from here, right in the middle of our screen, we can click the Upload button and we can upload a few part files. So as we click the Upload button, we can navigate into our folder and select the pre-assembled assembly of parts that we're going to be using. So as we can see, they all are loading into our project, and we can scroll down to show them all off. So while these part files are going to be uploaded, what we're going to do is add a user by going to the Share Projects at the top of our screen. And from there, we'll click on Add Users. Now, depending on if you have a license or not, you will be determined either a member or a guest. So for right now, we're going to pick on a guest that doesn't have a license. And we can do Invite Guest. And depending if they are external or internal, you can select that, and then you'll just have to insert the guest email and click the Add button. But for right now, we're going to click Cancel. As I've already added 2 guests in a previous project, so Xcelerator Share is going to remember those guests. So I have the ability just to click the plus button on them. And as we'll see, as I clicked on the external user, we have access level. So we have 3 different options of review, and download, and full access. We'll be clicking on the full access for right now. And once we click Share Now, that user or that email will be notified explaining what the project name is, followed by what access rights they're given, and a link to Xcelerator Share. So as we go back into our main page of our project, we can see all the parts have been already uploaded, which is a very quick process and making it very nice. So what we can do is we can click on Markup 3D on this assembly of parts. And as it loads in, we can see we have a navigation bar at the top of our screen. But it looks like we got a notification. And basically what it is saying is that we're missing 2 part files for this assembly. So this is great information to have inside of Xcelerator Share and a great feature they've added. Because this is just going to explain to you if there's any parts missing or any notes missing inside of your assemblies or parts. So you'll never have confusion between coworkers or collaborations. But for right now, we'll skip past that and we're just going to mess around inside this part file and look at all the navigation bar tools. So as we can see, the first tab, we can add a text box. So maybe we just tell the external user that there are 2 part files missing and we kind of need those. So as we type that in, we can leave that there and we can just click on the navigation bar to close it. It looks like our next one is going to be a measurement tool. So let's zoom in and try and find maybe this bolt on the outside. And we can center it by on the bottom right clicking the little cube. And as we zoom in, we can now click on the measurement button, and we can just click on each side of the bolt. And as you can see, we have a distance of 15.01 millimeters, but let's change that to inches. There we go. All right. Now we don't actually want to keep this because, as I mentioned, we're missing two part files. So we're just going to delete that after, and we're just going to show off the feature. So the next button on the navigation bar is the sections. And as you can see, it's going to section off depending on what plane you would like to section off. So we can just split it in half, and we can rotate it so we're able to see it a little better. As we click on the arrow, we're able to move the part and we can see inside of the part. Now this is going to be useful in case there are parts or bolts maybe that are inside of the part that we aren't able to see as easy from the outside. And then there's also another feature that can do this, which is the next one on the navigation bar. And this is called the explode. So as you can see, once we click on this and we extract everything or move it apart, we're exploding the assembly and showing off each of the parts. So what we have the ability to do now is we can click on a part and we can move out the navigation bar on the right of our screen. And we can see that the part is being highlighted not only inside of the part, but also in the navigation bar. And as we're hovering other part files, we can see that they're getting highlighted purple, which is going to be very useful for external users that might not know all the names of the parts and are trying to find them. And then you also have the ability to click on the check mark and you can hide the part. But for right now, what we're going to do is we're just going to unexplode our part, put it back together, and we'll click on the navigation bar button. And we have save image, but we didn't make any changes to it, so we don't need to do that. But we did make a markup with our note. So we can save the markup by calling it note 001. And as we click done, we can see in our navigation bar that the markup has been added. And if we want to, as we can see, we've also have some parts selected from when we were messing around inside of the explode. And those are going to get closed and opened as we click on it. So as we click the close button, we get an option to send a message to a user, a message or a create task. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on the external user's email and we're going to create a task. And so obviously we need to add those other part files. So let's just make the task very generic just so they understand the assignment. And we can type in a description so they know. And underneath here, we have priorities. And this is an urgent priority because we can't do anything until we have all the part files for this assembly. So let's give them a due date for that. And then for status, we're just going to keep it as to do. And then as you can see for the reference file, it's going to tag the assembly inside of the notification to the external user. So as it's sent off, it's going to notify that external user through email. Thank you. This has been an overview of Xcelerator Share. If you have any questions or would like to schedule a live demonstration, please contact our support email, support@camlogic.com.